evening, good evening, good evening. It is 9 o'clock.
Yes.
It is 9 o'clock. Good
Monday.
evening.
It's Monday.
Good evening to everyone. God bless you and good evening. We are so glad that you're on the line with us on tonight. We're so glad that you're here. We'll keep this open so that we can see if just in case someone else calls. That is great. We are doing our conference line, and also we have Facebook Live, and also we have Twitter, and we also have Instagram. So we say it is Monday. Thank God we're here. Another Monday. Thank God, another Monday. You have made it, and you're in the land of the living. Yes. It's Monday. We're just going to give it just a few minutes and enjoy the music as we are satisfied with what the Lord is doing. Thankful, grateful for what God is doing. He has done great things, and we're glad. Yes. We're so glad that you tune in with us each week. Yes. And we're just excited because it's Monday, another Monday night, and it is pillow time, pillow talk. I need my pillow. We're doing our pillow talk.
We're leaning on it.
Yeah, we're leaning on our pillows. We're doing our leaning on our pillows, and we're so happy that we are here tonight, and you're here with us on tonight for a pillow talk. And glad to see each and every one of you chiming in, tuning in with us, and get ready for our conversation. We're concluding. We're going to be working on tonight with our unforgiveness, and it's not worth losing relationships for having unforgiveness in your heart. It's not worth not enjoying one another or losing a great relationship with someone at work, someone at in your church, someone in your family, because of unforgiveness. There's a cost. There's a cost to forgiveness. It is just it's a high cost to unforgiveness. You lose out on so much when you don't forgive a person.
Yes, true.
So we're going to start with prayer as different ones are starting to chime in. Let's start with prayer. And we're going to go ahead and talk to the Lord and talk to you too.
Yes, Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for
Jesus.
another opportunity to come before you, Lord. We thank you for this opportunity to come before the greatest people in the world, God. Your people, Lord. We thank you for this time. And Lord, we thank you for this moment, and Lord, and this opportunity that we have, Lord, to share how you blessed us, that we can share with someone else, God. And we pray that what we would say would be a blessing and a help to somebody, oh God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, and we thank God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Amen. We're so glad that you're here with us on tonight. And we are just going to go ahead and jump right in at where we had left off from last week.
We're just going to jump right in.
Yes. You want to start on?
Yes, we want to talk about how unforgiveness is so needed, especially in everyone's life, but for sure the child of God. It's certainly important to be able to forgive as a child of God, because this is one of the things that we realize that helps us along our way as we go from day to day. Holding unforgiveness can cause you to get sick. It can cause you to be ill, not feel well, and if you're not careful, unforgiveness can come and set up the hatred. It can come and cause hatred against someone. So it's good just to forgive a person that in that way you won't have to be feeling that in your heart that, I hate this person. I hate this person. You don't want hatred to build up in your heart. When you don't forgive, it's subject to build up in your heart. So I want to encourage you, don't allow that to happen, but you forgive. And this is something that can cause you to be free. Man, you can't make anyone else forgive you. You can't make anyone ask for forgiveness. You can't do any of that. There's nobody that you got ask me to forgive. No, you can't make anybody do that. If they want to come and ask for forgiveness, that's wonderful. But if they don't, you can still forgive that person in spite of them not asking for it. And a lot of time, pride will sit in to make people not ask for forgiveness. And when pride come in, we know we got a problem. When we begin to deal with, we have a major problem. So we want to be able to forgive one another. And as we go through this life, people are going to hurt you and you're going to hurt people.
True.
It works both ways. Not that you somebody hurt, but we hurt each other. People get hurt. But the blessed part of it is when you can ask the person that I know I've offended, I've hurt it, that I can ask them, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. I want you to forgive me, that we can move on. But until you can do that, then somebody may not be able to move on. And be careful, and when you're dealing with unforgiveness, it's not always a rush right through it. It's not just like sometimes just turning on the faucet and you instantly get water.
Wow.
Forgiveness may not work like that all the time. Even to the point of, I was discussing with my wife how sometimes you can look at how people will tell you to lose a loved one. Get on over that. Get over that. It's okay. Get over that. No, but it don't always work like that.
Right.
When you lose a loved one, say someone lost their mom, don't come and tell nobody, she been gone for 2 days now. You ought to be over that. No, you don't tell anybody that. Wow. No, such as it dealing with an offense. When you have someone that have offended someone, you can't rush anybody through that, because if you rush a person through it, they may do it for you, just to keep you quiet, just so you won't keep bugging them about it. But in their heart, they're still not ready. So they're still not ready to forgive the person, but because you kept bugging, you can't let that stand in your heart. You got no. And when that person says, okay, well, I forgive. No. You have to take your time and deal with the situation. Wow. If the situation not being dealt with, person that has been offended, it has to be dealt with in order for a process. It's a process. It's a process that needs to take place in that person's life. There has to be a process. But you ought to be able to be the bigger one to be able to ask for the forgiveness. That's where it comes in to show how great a person you are. Right. It shows how great a person you are when you can go to someone that you feel like you are, that they say you offended them, and you can go to that person and ask them, I'm so sorry for what I did. Please forgive me. But to act like there's nothing, you've never done anything, that says something about your character.
And it's not always just about, me wanting to feel like I'm the bigger person, or, it's not always about, wanting somebody that I feel like I'm the bigger person or I'm the better person, but it does something to you. It frees your mind up. Yes. Your spirit is freed up. When you get past something and you're ready to start discussing it and you're ready to start letting it go, your spirit is freed up. Yeah. I'm freed up. Right. So you want to free yourself. You want to free yourself, free your own spirit, unclog your own spirit so that you can flow. And not only that, the same measure, we talked about this last week, the same measure that I give to you will be given back to yourself. Right. It's so funny. I worked at Gallagher Bassett. This was about, I worked at Travelers for 13 years. Then after Travelers, it was 7 years. So it was like during the 7 years, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 18 years ago, when I had a vehicle accident. I worked really late. Getting home, really late, had lots of reports to do. And I remember going to this, stopping by a restaurant on my way home, getting something for the family, and someone rear-ended me and hit me. Damn, I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like, oh man, but I had mercy on the person. I had mercy on him. I said, you know what? He was begging me, let me take this, let me do this through my own insurance, let me do this through my insurance, through my own pocket, so that I can, it won't go against me and this and that. And I'm like mad and raging, and I'm like, oh. So now here it goes. Years later, it happened to me. Now I need it. And I tell you, the same measure. The same measure. I can remember some of the things I said, same measure, that I gave out is what I'm getting back. And when I tell you the claim is almost the exact same amount, the same amount of damage that I put on this person's vehicle. I'm like, oh my God, help me, Lord. But the same measure. And and it is the thing that's really upsetting and hurtful is when a person is upset, and then all of a sudden, if a person is upset, all of a sudden they think that your hearing is gone. Because they gotta yell. They can't talk calmly, can't express themselves, articulate Some people can't articulate without cursing you out,
right.
cursing and saying words, using foul language,
right.
using language that's vulgar, can't articulate. Strive to calm down. You got to work on this thing. This is a work in progress where you are working on this thing and you're striving to calm down. The person is not deaf. Just because my point is not across, it is not, it was not taken well. Maybe my point is not taken well, but that does not mean that the other party is deaf and can't hear all of a sudden. What is it with that, where people got to yell? Some families do that. We were talking about that yesterday.
Right.
How different families respond, and then it comes into your adulthood life. Yeah. How you act as a child, how you saw your family acting as a child, is chances are that's how you're acting out and playing out in your situation.
Yes.
That's how it is.
Sure.
That is how you are playing out and acting out in your situation. Chances are, if your family listened and heard you out and listened to you and hear you express yourself, let your anger out, express the reasons, and you can count them. First, number one, it hurts me because of this, and that hurts me because of that, and then I don't like this, and I don't like you, allowing the person to express themselves, but then without the other person shouting, interrupting,
right.
and stopping you every time you try to make a point. All of a sudden we think that the other party is deaf, and we're not deaf. I'm not. I can hear you.
Right.
You don't need to shout at me in order to get your point across. True. We got to practice. This is a work in progress. This is something that we have to practice doing on calming it down, bringing it down several notches, express why you feel like you do, and share it with the other party.
Right.
Share it with the other party.
Very important. Very important.
I know there were some points you were going to bring out that was really good in our discussion.
I want to kind of go back on something you said, honey.
Okay.
When you said that, it's something how sometimes the wheel is just round. Actually, the wheel really is round.
Oh, yeah.
It's what goes around kind of comes around.
Right.
I can remember back some years ago that there was a guy in front of our home. He was parked in front of our house. We were in our car getting ready to leave.
Right.
And I just so happened to back straight into the guy's car.
And I remember saying, as a baby, see that man back there? It's a man. You see the man standing in the middle of the street. You see the man back there behind us.
I ran it back into the man's car. Well, I don't remember what she said. I don't know.
You weren't listening.
Yeah, right. So all of that, I got all of that. I got all of that.
Your mind was on something else.
Women kind of get a little more emotional about something like that than me, and quote unquote, maybe. Some. But when she called me and told me, she said, honey, I bagged it to a guy. Are you okay? I said, sweetie, are you okay? Then I asked, did you damage your truck very much? No, it's okay. It can be replaced. We can fix it. We'll take care of whatever it is. And keep it moving.
Right.
So, not to go on now. Why you weren't paying no attention? You must have been on your phone. That's not necessary. No. I mean, could have thought, you think what you think, but you don't have to verbalize all that stuff. Because somewhere else, then what that mess around you have to come back. I'm saying you can't personally think like that. And that could have been a thought cross my mind. Yes.
I'm just checking out.
You're right. It could have been thought that come across your mind.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you didn't verbalize that to the person.
Right.
A lot of thoughts can come to your mind. What are you going to do?
A lot of stuff, but
I can think a lot of that. But when she called me, I didn't yell, I didn't holler, I didn't scream, I wasn't upset. And what you going? Why you weren't paying no attention? You must have been talking on your phone. No. Are you okay? First of all.
Right.
First of all, because there would have been a greater problem. Then I would have had to apologize and ask her to forgive me if I had asked about the truck first.
That's right. Because the man was pulling forward. He was driving forward. And so it was like a little controversy there as to, okay, did you stop? Were you at a complete stop? Or, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Of course, that's not men. But you have to be careful, because there could have been something that I may have had to go back to her and apologize, say, I'm sorry for, I should have asked about you first.
Right.
Being more concerned about you than versus the vehicle. The vehicle, if it had been total, as long as you was okay, we can always replace material things.
That's right. That's right.
But a life is more important.
Oh, yes.
Should be. Your life, your person's life should be more important and more valuable.
Right.
More valuable. It don't matter if she had been in our car, in any of our cars, whatever kind of car. It don't make no difference. It's just the idea. You want to ask about her first, or him first.
Right.
Don't ask about the car that you can replace tomorrow if you want to. But ask about the person, that the human that you can't replace tomorrow if something happened to them.
Wow.
That's not but one of you.
Yes.
And that's not but one of her. So I was more concerned about her than asking about a truck. They got 200,000. Which is okay. It's still running though. But I don't have to come back and be apologetic and I'm sorry, baby. I know I should have. Because I'm sure that more than likely your wife, your friend, whatever the case may be, would have said, "Oh, you're more concerned about the vehicle than me."
So true.
Hello.
Right.
And I'm sure the men would have thought the same thing if the woman had said it. So it goes both ways, but it caused something that you don't have to go back and apologize for. But if you do need to apologize, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Get it over with.
Get it over with. Get it done.
Get it out of your system. One of the things that we had talked about is how when some things really get to you. It gets into the filters of your blood flow. It gets into the bone and the marrow. Some things get you so upset. But we talked about one of the things that we like to talk about. This is a filter that we have here. This is a filter. You have to use devices. You have to use different things that's going to block the pain from getting into your heart, to the point that you're so angry that you're ready to just snatch the head off of that other individual. So angry that you could show up. You could be on the 6 o'clock or the 10 o'clock news because you could just kill this person. You could just really do some damage to this person. You got to use the filters. Now, my filter is prayer. My filter is going to put on music, and my filter is going to take a walk. What are some of your filters? What are some things that you do to help it not to get into the heart, into my blood flow, into the subterraneans of my spirit, that I can just go choke someone?
And I definitely think
What's your filter?
one of the most important things is to pray and to read the word. That word is going to help to kind of get rid of some of that stuff that's in you, in order to help filter out something that would come through there. Right. This is a filter, a furnace filter. And it's in there for a reason, to keep some of the dirt from coming into your furnace or into your system. Right. So this is what this does. It filters some of the dirt to keep it from coming into your system. Yes. You need something to filter to come through your system. I know that they say sometimes that you can do different things. You may want to. Some may go bowling. Some may go walking. Some may go for a ride. But whatever it takes for you to be able to filter that stuff out of your system, you find yourself doing. Drinking and drugging ain't gonna do it. No.
That's gonna make it worse.
That's worse. That's gonna bring it worse.
If you're a yeller or a shouter, you're gonna be a louder yeller. Yes. And you're gonna cry with it and shout with it, and you're gonna mess up your kidneys in your system. So drinking is not the answer. Getting drugs or high, that calms me down. I need something to calm me down. Well, go to your doctor. Tell your doctor you need to get something calmed down. And if he prescribes whatever he prescribes, or he, that's another thing. But you need some filters in life to be able to help you to not go from 1 to 1,000 in 30 seconds or 10 seconds. Yes. Where people can just take you there. And you just go there. You just go there, and in 5 or 10 seconds you're so mad that but you need filters. You need filters, and you also need a 911. Who is your 911?
Somebody.
Who is your 911 person?
Somebody.
Who is your 911 that can help you during the time of anger, the time of frustration, this time of this? You just feel like you need a filter. What is your filter? We want you to think about that. So that's one thing that we wanted to bring out tonight. Have a filter. have a filter and ask God to give you something that's going to be a calming mechanism, a calming factor in your life.
Have somebody that's not going to just be a yes person. When you tell them what has happened to you, they're going to be saying, girl, boy, you ought to do that. No, you want somebody that's going to be on neutral ground with you, that's going to help your situation.
Okay.
Because something can be said can be more detrimental to the situation than being helpful. Right. So you don't want always to talk to, if you got a yes friend, don't call that friend. Right, no. You call that friend that's going to tell you if you are wrong. You want somebody that's not going to tell, yeah, you're right. No, you need somebody that's going to stand flat foot and firm with you to tell you, you were wrong when you said it like that. You were wrong when you did it like that. Right. You don't want just a yes person in your corner because it's doing you more harm and you're not really helping the situation. You're not growing. No, so call the person that you know, and you've got several friends, call the person that you know that's going to be on neutral ground and will maybe turn around and slap you as well. Slap back in your face. Well, you did this, so you caused him or her or them to do this. Right. So, but not just a person gonna say, yeah, that's going, he shouldn't have did, she shouldn't have did. No. You want someone that's going to be there. So that means that's someone that really loves you enough, and they love your mate. Loves you, loves your mate. Maybe loves you that you got a job. Loves that situation, the point that you have a job or you have a church that you're going to. Because there's no perfect church, there's no perfect job, there's no perfect marriage, there's no perfect friendship, there's no perfect anything in life. And I believe God purposely made it that way so that we can be ready and looking forward to his return. I really do. I really believe that he doesn't allow, there's no 100% marriage that's 100%. There's 80-20s and 50-50s and 60-40s and 70-30s and 70-30s in life. And that's something that we can constantly reach to our Creator, reach to God for our help, our strength, our peace, our rescue. Because you need a filter. My filter is prayer, and I cry out to God. I beat on the floor, and I let my frustration out, or maybe going to walking or working out, run to the gym. There's a gym really close to me, and I just go and I get on that treadmill. I put my earplugs on, and I just lose myself into that, or into the prayer, or into crying, or listening to the song, or something like that, or explaining my pain to a friend. Those are filter mechanisms that you can use. And you got to remember, when you forgive, in forgiving, you may have to do it to somebody that you feel don't even deserve it. That's real good. They may not even deserve to be forgiven. But you do it because you want to be clear. Yes. You want to clear your own heart. You're concerned about the other person, but you want to clear your own heart. They don't deserve it. Number one, they not ask you for forgiveness. They have not even ever asked you, say, I'm sorry for what I said about you or done to you or whatever the case may be. They may not do that. But you can still be able to forgive that person at the same time, that it can keep your heart clear, that it can keep your mind clear, because you look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture than sometimes the person that don't ask for the forgiveness. Look at the bigger picture. And sometimes, as we often say, hurt people. Yes. You don't know that other person's hurt, why they hurt you. You don't know nothing about their hurt because it could have happened in their childhood. Right. It could have happened 20, 30 years ago, and that's what caused them to be hurt. Now what they're doing, because they never dealt with their hurt, they're hurting other people. Right. May not even really realize, or some they do realize, and maybe it's to the point to where they really don't care. Wow. But you still have to be able to forgive that person when they come your way and hurt you. You got to be the bigger person to forgive them. In spite of them not even asking for it or even deserve. You don't deserve me to forgive you. Right, my God. You don't deserve me to forgive you. But that's not the way you have to look at it. Right. Whether they deserve it or not. Look at us. A lot of days we don't deserve to be forgiven, but we are forgiven. Yes. So it ain't all about a person deserving it. You do it that your heart can be clean. Right. You want your heart to be pure. You want to be free in your own spirit and your own mind. Right. That you don't have to be bogged down constantly running this over and over in your mind. And when you forgive somebody, hear this, when you forgive somebody for real, not talking about this playing, I forgive you, okay, and when you get mad here, when you really forgive somebody, it does not matter what comes or goes. You don't bring that back up and throw it in their face when the opportunity allows itself.
Wow.
And somewhere it may present itself for you to throw that back up in their face. But if you really forgiven that person, you don't throw that stuff back up in their face.
It may come across your mind.
It may come your mind. Yeah. Keep it there. You keep it there.
Keep it
but
right
you
ask,
but you try to get it out of there.
Let me get this past me.
Try to get that out of there.
Move on from this guy. You help me. Use your filter.
Because we all got something.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's something I need her to forgive me for. She got something I need to forgive her for. Yeah. We all have that. You got friends, not just a husband and wife, but friends and relatives or whatever the case may be. Well, yes, all of that.
Yeah, leaders.
But you have to be able to say, okay, I'm going to move on with this. I don't want to keep holding this against somebody. Mm-hmm. Whether they deserve it or not, just do it.
Just do it.
To make you feel better.
Right.
They may not feel better because they ain't came and asked for forgiveness, but you gonna feel better.
Yes, you will.
Because somewhere down the road, you're gonna and you're not gonna throw that stuff back up in their face. Mm-hmm. I remember what you. No, that's not real forgiveness when you throw it back up in a person's face after you said, "I forgive you." Okay, I forgive you. If they throw it back up in your face, you better check that person. Yeah. Or that person needs to check themselves.
Sometimes you got to check who that person is getting fed from. Feeding, but because everyone is feeding someone, and if that person is feeding, in other words, if I'm calling a friend or constantly visiting a friend that is feeding more fuel to this fire that I'm presenting, you know, I'm calling my friend and I'm upset, and they're feeding more fire to my fuel. You got to check that person. Watch who you're going to. Watch who that person is. You know, are they on your side? Are they really in your corner? Are they someone that really you need to be talking to about your struggles? Are they someone that's, you know, and, you know, them to constantly be feeding it. And then you can tell when your mate has been talking to somebody else. Oh, yeah, I can tell this person's been talking to someone else because you're not even talking like you talk when you walked out that door. When you walked out the door, you were more positive. You were more upbeat, and we weren't arguing. Now here you come home, or here the next day your boss get out of a meeting, and all of a sudden the whole conversation has turned around, and now I'm messed all up, and I'm not in no good, and you know, things are. Watch who the person is talking to, because whoever that person is talking to, that's the person that is really feeding into whatever that situation is. It really is.
You have to be careful. If you're a husband or wife and you have just got a divorce, you're a friend and you got a real issue with a friend and you all have fell out, that's not the person to go talk to. Wow. That's not really the person to go talk to. You don't really need to talk. If you and your spouse, let's just use spouse for a minute here. If you're having an issue, say you all have you're divorced and had a mutual friends, and and they divorced. Now I wouldn't say go to them and go to talking about your house problem. I wouldn't say that's the person to go to talking to about what's going on in your house, because they just got a divorce yesterday. Right. Now here you are over there talking to them. Well, man or girl, you know that. No, that's not the person to talk to.
Right.
You talk to someone that's going to be able to help you with what you're dealing with.
Yes.
Because if you go to talking because two negatives don't work.
Wow.
You can't get if you hook two negatives together. No, you're not going to get no reaction that you're looking for. You need a negative. If you got a negative, you need a positive.
Wow.
On your car, you can't have your battery on your car. Don't have two negatives.
That's good.
It don't have two positive. You got to have a negative and a positive on that battery post in order to be able for that car to go.
Wow.
So you need to be able to have a negative and a positive go work. That's going to help the situation. When you put that battery cable on the negative and the positive, the car starts up. Wow. But go to your car. Don't go to your car. But if you went to your car, if you went to your car and you disconnected one of those battery cables and go in there and hit your switch and see what happens.
Wow.
Absolutely nothing, and you ain't going nowhere.
My goodness.
You're not going nowhere. Such it is with people. If you're going and you're dealing with somebody, if you're a positive person, you always want to talk to a negative person, it's going to stop you from going where you want to go.
Wow.
Don't always be around negative people. It's something. Be careful in how you always deal with negative people, because a lot of times people have stuff in their heart that they don't tell you nothing about.
Right, they haven't cleaned out.
They don't talk to you about it. They won't talk. They'll talk to you about other stuff, but they won't talk to you. And sometimes it's something we have to try to be as transparent as we can with people, because we don't want to make folks look like we are way up there. We all up here, here, and everybody else under us is down here. No, you don't want to make people feel like that. And because when you have unforgiveness in your heart and things are happening to you and it cause you to have unforgiveness, you can sometimes make it because the hurt people are going to hurt other people.
That's true.
And it's going to cause more problems. Because what are you doing? You're putting on top. It's just like kind of putting icing on the cake. You don't just put a little thin. You don't want just a little thin layer of icing on. I cooked the cake back. I cooked the cake, and it was delicious. Don't fool yourself.
It was good.
The cake was good, but I put some icing on it. And when my wife being a cook herself, she know I had put a little icing on. Well, I'm thinking it's cool. I got icing. I covered the whole cake. She said, "No, baby, people like thick icing. Put a little more icing," and it made the cake better because I put more icing on top of it. You know, so by putting more icing on it made it even better. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful and who you're dealing with and what they're talking about, because you got to be careful. Everybody don't have your best interest at heart.
So true.
Everybody don't have it, and it's sad to think. But you would think that you got a new car. Do you think everybody happy about that?
Everybody's not happy about that. That's so true.
Some people don't. Maybe we get off on. That's a whole other subject.
That's so true. That's so true. Everybody's not happy. You ever had to pick up the phone? You're like, "Ooh, I just got this promotion. Ooh, I can call. No, I better not call her. Ooh, I know I can call. No, I better not call her. Ooh, no, I know I can call." You know, you're watching. Who can you call? You know, because of the jealousy that people sometimes carry when it comes to you getting blessings. Yeah, that is a different subject.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject. We'll dig that next time. But you got to be able to forgive and let go. Let stuff go. Let it go. Let it go. Things happen to you years and years. Let that stuff go. Some people are still holding that stuff over people's head that happened 30 years ago. They still are. I remember back there when 20 years ago when this happened. No, let that stuff go. Forgive the person. If you forgive the person, forgive them. Forgive them and keep moving forward.
Either do it or don't.
That's it.
You know, let it go. Like we said last week, you know, the example that I gave, how the person held on. 1 year later, I'm still mad. 2 years later, I'm still upset. You know, 3 years later, I'm still kind of feeling some kind of way about what you did and how you did it to me. Well, you know what? All you can do is go through the process and really genuinely mean it in your heart. Because we saw that question that came up on the screen last week. Genuinely mean it in your heart. That forgiveness. Genuinely mean it in your heart. When husbands, when you ask your wives, and wives, when you ask your husband for forgiveness, genuinely mean it in your heart.
Friends.
Really be, your friends and you know, and your loved ones, and you know, you got family members, and people are dying so quickly. I mean, we need to keep it straight. We almost don't have time to get it straight.
Right.
We got to keep it straight
as we go.
Yes, we really, really do, because I'm telling you, so many things are coming against us, and time is winding up for our lives, and the enemy he's running rampant, you know, and we got to really keep it straight. Keep it straight. Don't let things clog your spirit up. Don't let things clog up your spirit. You know, and you need to use that filter to get it out, get it straight. You don't want that problem to get into your heart. This filter is to prevent things from getting to the main system. It keeps junk from the main system, and you don't need junk getting into your heart. You don't need mess getting into your heart. You ever met a person that just had mess in their heart? They got mess all in their spirit, and they clogged all up in their spirit, and they messy, and they messed all up, and in their spirit they messed up. They're messy. Why? Because they didn't use a filter to block the pain, the hatred, the anger, the fear, the insecurity. So all they are is just a messed up individual. My God.
And that's a dangerous person.
Dangerous person.
Person. Yes, go the opposite way of that person. That's my friend, though. Yeah, if your friend is not trying to get no help,
if they're not trying to improve themselves,
they're not trying to get any help for themselves, that's really not a friend. But you have to be careful when it comes to forgiveness. It's something that I believe a lot of people are dealing with in their heart, and some people may not really realize it, but that's a lot of time we're dealing with that unforgiveness because of the thing been done to us years ago. Maybe nothing that just happened to you, but it's stuff that happened to you years ago. And because you haven't forgave folk from years ago, your hurt is coming to hurt somebody else. But you're looking for the forgiveness, though, from everybody else. No. It's important important. It is so important for us as people to forgive one another.
Yes, it is.
It's so important for us to get. Mr. Lewis that just passed. Mr. Lewis just passed. John Lewis.
Right.
I can imagine. They show a lot of the things that he dealt with back in the day with Martin Luther King. They show a lot of things that he dealt with, being abused by the police, all this stuff he dealt with. But I don't believe that man held that stuff in his heart. I believe he had to be a forgiving person in order to move forward, go as far as he did. In spite of how he was treated.
Right.
He didn't let that stop him. Now, when you have that unforgiveness in your heart, it stops you in your track. It's a whole different story. You really got a problem.
Wow.
But if you allow it come, you forgive the person and you move on. I believe Mr. Lewis moved on. Not that he forgot. He couldn't forget the time they bust his head on. He couldn't forget that.
Right. Got a mark. Right?
But he couldn't just kind of keep that. When I get a chance, I'm gonna get back at them. No. You can't be sitting up trying to figure out how can I get back at them that hurt me.
Right.
You're in danger. You're walking on dangerous ground when you begin to think about how can I get back at somebody that hurt me. We may go through our whole lives trying to get back at somebody, and we're just talking about being hurt.
My goodness.
Because not only are you being hurt, you are hurting somebody.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to be careful of the spoon that we use.
Right.
The forgiveness, the measure that we use.
Right.
When we want this type of forgiveness. What type of forgiveness do you want when your day comes?
Right.
Because just as sure as we are alive and we stay alive, our day is going to come.
Yes, I want this.
Huh.
I want a big old pot worth of forgiveness.
Which one you want?
Which one? You want a baby spoon
I'll
full
take
of
this
forgiveness?
baby spoon. Right?
That's all I'm going to give them. I'm going to forgive them, but I ain't dealing with them anymore. I'm not going to talk to them anymore. I'm not going to, I don't have to be bothered with them. I don't have to. No, you don't have to.
Right.
But when it comes your turn, when it comes time for you to need forgiveness, which one are you going to get? What measure? Are you wanting a baby spoon measure?
Right.
Or do you want a big pot full? Are you the type person, I forgive them with a long handle spoon. I'm not going to deal with them. I'm going to call my daughter. You call them and tell them I said da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to call mama. I'm going to work through other people. That what you're doing is long handle spoon loving. You're not going to deal with them. No, you deal with that person.
You do it.
You deal with it. You handle it. You work it out. You write the letter, and then don't send it off until the next day or two so that you can calm down. Right. Calm down, read it again, and a lot of times you will soften that. Because keep in mind, what goes around, it sure enough comes around. It comes back around just as sure as we're sitting here today. What goes around comes around. Which measure? Do you want to forgive just a little bit, or you want to forgive a whole lot? A whole lot.
You gotta be careful, and a lot. Sometimes you may have to find yourself putting yourself in that other person's place.
Yes.
And I think they call that empathy.
Yes, that's true.
Putting yourself in the other person's place. Wow. This is so important. Sometimes we don't think about putting ourselves. How would I feel if this was done to me?
Wow.
What would be my thoughts if this was done to me? Let me put myself in this person's place. Or do we just say, oh, well, it is what it is. And that's the saying today. It is what it is.
That's the saying.
It is what it is. But put yourself in that other person's place and see how would you feel if the same thing would have happened to you.
But a lot of times what we're dealing with today, and this is so real, is there's the mental illness that's out there. It's so real.
Yes.
When you're dealing with people that they're mentally ill, something is wrong, and something's not adding up. There's a bipolar spirit. There's a mental illness spirit that you're having to, and I put myself into that place, and I see that this person really has a sickness, a illness, something is not connected.
Right.
And if they're willing to get help, you go with them to get the help.
Yes.
Encourage them. I'll go with you. I see that this is painful for you. I see that this is not going well. And every time this matter comes up, we blow up. We have this blow up conversation. Well, go with that person to offer the help and go with that person, because their mental illness is real. Mental illness is something that we're dealing with today. And they say that our church took a class on the mental illness and how to coach and how to deal with people, how to receive people that are struggling with mental illness. It's so real. You know, now's not the day to tease people, say, girl, you just cray cray. You just cray cray. Oh, she crazy. Don't tease a person saying that they're crazy, because chances are that there's some mental illness that's there that really needs to be dealt with, needs to be looked into. But be a friend.
Yes.
Be a friend and go with that person to the doctor. I'll go with you. I'll go with you to the doctor. But I really think you need to get checked out. You need to get some help, because this pain, you're not able to shake it off. You're not able to let it go. And this has gotten past. You haven't been able to filter this pain. The filter has gotten so dirty. It's so clogged up. What happens when a filter is clogged up?
Then
so
your
black?
dirt just go right into it. Then it don't filter out. It just goes right into. After a while, it just gonna try to probably. If you let it stand there too long, this will just kind of tear, and then a thing will get a hole, and all the dirt will go right into the.
So it's just like not having one.
It'd be kind of like not.
And then that's what you call mental illness. Then, so it could be that your filter is just. It could be something you're born with. It could be something that you have allowed to come upon you in life. That it was so painful what you went through, that rape, that divorce, that death of a loved one, the loss of a job. It was so devastating that now there's an illness that is taking place and you can't shake it. And it's always a blow up. And there's always a problem. There's always an argument. And it's always a jetting up from 0 to 100. You know, there's never that easy kilter, even middle ground. There's never that middle ground that's there. So go with the person. Let the person know, you know, it's time out. Let me just say this. It's time out for passing the buck or the problem to someone else. It's time out for us to just say, well, that's my problem. That's your problem. That's you know, that what is that saying you just said? We say put it off on when we put it off on someone else. It is what it is. You know, no, it is what it is. I'm just not going to deal with it. They should know that's just how I act. No. It's time for us to love a person enough. And this is not just in a marriage. Care for a person enough to help them through that, because sometimes that person can be your assignment. That person, that situation, it can be your assignment. This is your assignment. That mate, that boss, that can be your assignment for life that you have, that, you know, that God strategically put you all together. You know, put you right there in the place that now you're the one that has to deal with that situation.
That happens.
And it's not for you to pass it on to someone else. You know, when you just say, I'm going to cut off that marriage, I'm going to cut off my child, I ain't going to forgive that child. You're throwing that problem out to society, and now someone else has to deal with it. And then someone else may not be as kind or as nice or as long suffering as you are, because you are that other person's assignment. You just got to work with that person. That mental illness is real. It's real. It's really real.
Wow. Yes. And sometimes things come our way, and things come our way for a reason.
Yes,
there's
a
reason, and there is a purpose for all things. There's a reason. There's a reason.
Yes.
When you are dealing with people, maybe with mental illness, and sometimes you may think that they're going to come back and tell you, I'm sorry for what I've done. They may not do that because they don't see their wrong. Sometimes they don't see the wrong that they're doing.
They always are the victim.
Right. But for you that does see the wrong that you've done.
Right.
You that do have a good mind, thank God for a good mind, a fairly good mind, be able to apologize when you do somebody wrong.
Okay.
At the bottom line, be man or woman enough, boy or girl enough, or whatever the case may be, to be able to apologize, because that's going to help elevate that person along with yourself. Right. You don't want to do things that's going to hold you back.
Right.
Life is stressful enough.
Yes, it is.
Life today, and we all know today, the stuff we're dealing with today is stressful enough. You don't need nothing to come in your life to be able to talk about no unforgiveness and holding things. No, we don't need that today in our life. We need to be able to be as free as we can be in dealing with the thing that we have to deal with today. Wow. We don't know where this is going, where we are today. We don't know which way it's going, where it's going. But we want to be able to make sure we have a clean heart and a clean spirit for ourselves.
Wow.
And if you can't make nobody apologize to you.
No, you can't.
Don't you forget that. You can't, it don't matter what you say or how you say, you can't make nobody apologize to you. And be careful about trying to force somebody else to apologize to somebody.
Right.
Like I say, it's more better for a person to make up in their own mind, say, I'm going to go and apologize to them. I'm going to go apologize. For somebody to be felt like they're forced to do it.
Yes.
Because force it's just like forced anything is not good.
No, it's not.
No. If you're forced to do a thing, it's not as good as just doing it willfully. It's not good as doing it willfully. Because if you're forced to go and apologize, you may really not want to go and apologize at that time. Yeah. You may not be ready to apologize to the person.
Right.
But because you felt like you were forced to go do it, then you go do it. But in your heart, you still got all this stuff still building up in your heart and in your spirit, in your mind. So wait until you feel that it's a time for you to be able to go do it. I know this. Don't let it be said way too late. Well, then it ain't a thing about waiting to let it be said you waited too late. But it's a thing that you have to be prepared to be able to go do it. It's a process. It's a process. Some things just may take longer than other things.
But what about where the Bible talks about forgiving 7 times 70? Yes. But that doesn't mean that problem doesn't need to be talked out or talked through. True. You need to talk through some points. And some things that means a lot to me may not mean a lot to that other party.
That's true. And
that maybe I need to hear it explained and discussed. Mm-hmm. And that other party may say, hey, well, just an apology is good for me. Well, the person you're apologizing to, and depending on what you're apologizing for and about, some things need to be talked out. What happened? I need some details, because now that other party needs a person of reference, a point of reference, someone to be accountable to, someone to be accountable so that trust can be built back up. Yes. Because, now something's been broken. Sure. Now something has been, some trust has been violated. Right. And you crossed over lines and you crossed over boundaries. Yes. So now some boundaries need to be set up. Some electronic leashes need to be set up. What's an electronic leash? This cell phone, you be accountable. Hey, honey, I'm on my way home. Hey, I know that I've been out. I'm on my way. Now I'm heading over. I'm going to stop at a grocery store on my way. You be accountable. It may be on your job. Maybe some trust has been broken on the job. You document. Leave some points out. Document. And show to build that trust back up. Because trust is a major issue when it comes to relationships. Yes. I don't care what kind of a son and a child, a daughter and a mother. Trust is a major thing. I gave you my credit card and you done spent on it, and you done took advantage, and then I thought you were going to pay the bill that I asked you to, and now that trust has been broken. Now accountability and boundaries must be set. It's not like you just got a problem and then you just go, oh, I'm sorry, and just apologize. And no, things need to be discussed. Right. Boundaries need to be set, and you need to set up accountability partners, people that are in that life, someone that can be accountable to the other party. Yes. It needs to be done.
Have to have some boundaries.
Yes, it does. It needs to be done. Yes.
It's got to be done. It's something you just can't get around.
You can't.
You can't get around
because the pain is too deep.
It's too deep.
And you broke boundaries.
Yes. You crossed the line.
You crossed the line.
You crossed the line. And when you cross the line, you got to come back and get it straight.
Yeah.
And when you crossed over the line, you drug your feet.
And
that means you messed up the line.
You messed up. Yeah.
So that means you got to go back and get the line back straight. You got to straighten it out.
Yeah.
And don't look for somebody else to straighten up your mess. Don't look for somebody else to straighten it out, but you straighten it out. You got to deal with it. You got to be the one. You got to be the one to go and apologize for what you done.
Wow.
And you know what you done. You got to be. Most of the time, if someone hurt your feeling, you know when you done hurt somebody.
Right.
You know that. Let's not play over yonder somewhere. Let's not play a game about it. Yes, we're not going to play the innocent game. Right. But no, we know when we done hurt somebody's feeling and we done hurt. We know that. So the thing we have to do is go and apologize to that person.
Yes.
Apologize to that person. You might see a whole different person if you go and apologize to them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, ain't like a person hate a person.
Yeah.
But sometimes you done cause a fear.
Yeah.
To build up in that person toward you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now they got a fear that they kind of, let's just break it down. They scared of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now they scared of you.
Right.
Now they scared of you because they see you a person that can hurt a person and won't apologize.
And don't even feel bad about it.
And won't feel bad about it.
And no remorse
Nothing.
or no regard.
And you can just kind of keep on keeping on.
Keep on and act as if you can sleep at night.
Nothing happened.
And here you are snoring.
Yeah.
Drooling. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? You know, you violated. You did something.
You violated me.
Right. You know, and then all of a sudden now you snoring and sleeping all well. You know, the boss doesn't expect you to everything to go well. We're gonna go to lunch together still. No. Something's been violated. I've been offended. You know, and we got to be able to express when the offense is there. Express that. Express yourself. And be able to express that. There's a timing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to wait for the right timing.
Right.
Sometimes you got to just ride the storm. You got to ride that storm sometimes. That pressure cooker can be sizzling and boiling. Yeah. It can be whistling. But you got to ride that storm. But don't expect love on that job. Don't expect love. Don't expect for that. It's no love on the job. You're not there for love.
No.
You're there for a paycheck and you're there to solve a problem.
Right.
They're paying you to solve a problem. Yes, they are.
Wow.
Not to love on you. That love is not at work. That's not. Don't look for love in all the wrong places. Okay.
Don't go there.
Don't mess up where you eat. Don't worry how they say. We ain't gonna go there.
No, we go.
Don't mess where you eat. You know. Don't do that.
Oh no, don't do that.
Don't look for love at work. Stop it. Stop it. You know. You're there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
You're there you're there to solve a problem for someone else.
Yes.
That is your assignment. That is your assignment to solve that problem.
Lose yourself. You all chained up. Stuff wrapped all around your neck. It's got you bound. And you know the 2 words. What I said last week? 7 letters?
7 letters.
2 words, 7 letters.
Right.
Will loose you.
My goodness.
2 words, 7 letters.
Wow. Will free you.
Will free you from this.
Chains
that have you bound.
Wow.
Say them 2 words to free yourself. Loose yourself.
Wow.
And set yourself free. This is the thing we have to do to be able to set ourselves free, not to continue on like everything is everything. It's all good.
Right.
I'm good, you good, we good. No, somebody's not good.
Right.
Somebody's not good, but what you have to do is to be able to free yourself through asking for forgiveness for what you've done. Be able to do that. You have to be able to ask for the forgiveness. And when you do that, you can feel yourself being free.
Right.
Then you can be blessed and you can be helped. And sometimes when you're dealing with yourself, you have to find somebody.
Right.
And get with somebody else to be able to help you. Sometimes you may have to have somebody to help you.
That's true.
There's
a statement that we used in one of the seminars that we talked about when we were dealing with forgiveness. It says the first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive. Now, there's a difference of apologizing and forgiveness.
Yes.
Okay? The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. The first to forgive, first to forget is the happiest. I thought about that when you were saying that. So the first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. And the first to forget is the happiest. Highlight on that, Pastor.
Wow. The first to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta, that means you have to acknowledge that you've done something.
Okay. Right.
This is where a lot of people get in trouble because they don't want to acknowledge what we always look at, human nature. Let's look at human nature is you the problem, not me.
Right.
You the problem.
Yes.
And by me looking at you being the problem, I'm not going to come to you and apologize because I'm saying you're the problem. I need you to come to me because you're the problem.
So that means the victim role.
You're going to be the victim.
You know, I'm the victim. You did me wrong. You did.
I'm the victim.
You're always treating me wrong. Why are you always doing this to me? Why this? You know, You know, you're playing the victim role. You know,
you have to be able to be strong enough to ask for forgiveness. Person may not come to you, but that's what they ought to do. Ask you for forgiveness in order to be helped.
Right.
You got to be able to ask for the forgiveness. You've wronged somebody, just ask for forgiveness. Just tell them I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sometimes time is got to come in between the apology, the error and the apology. Time. Sometimes, you know, that scripture that says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. That's a challenging one to deal with. That's challenging.
It's a challenge.
But it's doable because if it's in the word, it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah.
But it's really challenging when you're married to that person or that has offended you, or, you know, that job you got to constantly deal with the person, or maybe at church you're dealing with a person, or maybe in the store someone offended you, you know, or something that you got to go to on a continuous basis. When offense is there, it's challenging, but it's doable.
Yes.
It's doable.
Yes.
If it wasn't doable, he would not have it in the word.
Yes.
But he said, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. On your anger.
Offense, they will come.
Yes.
No matter what position you hold or you don't hold, offensive will come.
Yes.
You have to be big enough to forgive the person that brought you the offense.
Yes.
Can you forgive the one that offended you?
Right.
Even without them asking you for forgiveness.
Yes.
You may not always get your I'm sorry. You may not get, but can you forgive that person?
Right.
And be the bigger person, as was made mention. Right. Can you be the bigger person? Let it go.
The bravest. Yes.
Let it go.
So then you got to ask yourself, do I want to be brave? Do I want to be strong? Or do I want to be happy? Ask yourself that tonight. Do I want to be brave? Do I want to be strong? Or do I want to be happy? What's another version on this? The first one is the bravest. You know, when you say brave, you know, do I want to be, you know, because it's love is risky.
Sure, it is.
And then, you know what, it's a risk loving somebody, your child, loving the, you know, being respectful and having a sense of a degree of respect on that job. You know, that's showing love. That's showing respect. That's showing respect for yourself. That's your character. You have a high regard. It's high character. So that to be brave enough to risk the rejection of the apology. You know, you're risking something. Now, if I apologize, he may, I don't want to hear that. I knew you messed up, and I knew you were going to say you sorry. I don't want to hear sorry ain't going to fix this. Yes, sorry doesn't fix everything.
No.
I'm sorry does not fix everything.
No.
You can't keep kicking me and think that I'm going to just forgive. Yes, I may forgive, but things may be handled differently.
Sure, that's true. Yes.
Things I may forgive, but something's going to change here. I don't have to continue to act the way I'm acting. And I won't be wrong with God, and I feel okay in my own spirit about the situation.
That's right.
So to be, you know, I got to ask myself, do I want to be the bravest? Do I want to be the strongest? Strong on the inside, strong on the inner man. My inner man is strong.
Yeah.
You know, let the weak say I'm strong, you know? You know, I want to be strong, or do I want to be happy? I definitely want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to have joy on the inside. I want peace on the inside. So if I want these things, I need to be able to be the first to forget. I want to be the first to forget. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I have a scar still to prove that was there. You know, maybe someone damaged something, or there's a scar still there, a scar in my heart that's there, you know, but I want to be the strongest. I want to be the bravest, and I want to be the happiest. Well, if you want to be all those things, you have to apologize, you have to forgive, and you have to forget.
Yes. You have to, if someone apologized to you for doing a thing, don't ever bring it back up to them, because if you do, you haven't really forgiven. I don't feel you really forgiven. If you got to bring it back in their face every time you look around, that's something you bring out. I don't feel that you really did a real forgiveness, all right? Not a real forgiveness. You just said, and keep in mind, you can make your mouth say anything.
That's true. That's why something.
What about the heart? What is the heart saying?
That's why, because you know what? Sometimes, you know, can we discuss this again later? Okay? But we do need to discuss this. I may forgive you, but this needs to be discussed. And it takes me a bit, because thoughts come through your mind. Thoughts go through your mind. And yes, I may not bring it up to wash it in your face, but I need some more explanation. Come on now. You know, I need some more explanation. And give me a minute, give me a week, give me a day or so that I can be able to, so we can discuss this thing. Can we calmly discuss this thing and not yell and shout at each other? So I don't have to bring it back up in your face you know, because my husband forgave me of something when we divorced and remarried one another. He forgave me. He never brings it up in my face, but it had to be discussed. It had to be talked through. We had to talk through that matter, so that the devil, he whispers thoughts into your mind, into your spirit. So that could be squashed. It can be squashed, and you don't have to bring things back up.
True. Don't have to do
cut
it.
And to
hurt
a person.
For hurtful reasons.
Yes.
And that's what sometimes it does. We bring things back up for hurtful reasons. If you forgive, get rid of it.
Yes.
Because the only thing you can do, if you hold on to it, somewhere you're going to bring it back up for hurtful reasons. And sometimes that second hurt may not be as good, and it may not come out the same way.
Right.
So let's work on forgiving one another. Ooh. Whatever you've done, it's about 10 o'clock, a minute or two after, honey. We're going to be getting ready to close this down. We thank you all so much for listening, for watching us. We can appreciate you. Yes, at the end of the day, free you.
Free yourself.
Free you.
Free yourself.
Free you.
Free yourself.
Now, since you brought this out, let's go with this here real quick.
Okay.
She locked me in here. No, I don't want you to lock you in there.
Okay.
I want you to just lock me in there.
Okay.
She locked me in here. But there's a key.
Where's the key? Here's the key.
I got the key.
Woo! Wow.
She locked me in this. She done got rid of the key in somewhere, but I got the key to be able to free myself. She ain't gonna free me, but I'm gonna free myself.
Wow.
I'm gonna unlock myself.
Wow.
And free me.
Wow.
Now, well, let's go. Put.
Okay. Put it on me.
She might still be bound.
Yes. I'm still bound.
She's still bound.
How you free? How you so happy?
But freed you.
How are you so happy? You're so happy. You smiling?
I'm free.
Because he freed himself.
I freed myself. Now what she can do is get a key and free herself.
Give me that key.
But she has to do that.
Here I am holding all this stuff, remembering, I'm rehearsing it, nursing it, and cursing it. Give me that key. I'm going to free myself. I ain't going to walk around here all depressed, upset, angry, in fear and frustration and anxiety and wondering and speculating. And come on now. All these things we do. I'm going to free myself. Give me that key. Let me free myself.
Tell that person I love you, but you're not worth a heart attack.
Right.
You're not worth a stroke.
That's it.
We ain't going there. We ain't going to deal with all that. Because stress and things can bring on strokes and heart attacks.
It sure can. Yes, it can.
What the girl say standing out in the middle of the street? She said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. Ain't nobody got time. All that recovery.
No, we ain't got time for
that.
And
all that recovery and you got to do to learn how to talk again, walk again, and stroke out and everything. Go exercise. Go do something to help free yourself. Do something to help free your mind, to filter yourself, filter all these problems so that they won't clog up your heart.
Don't get
clog up your spirit.
Thank you all so much for watching. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go. This is good.
We gotta go.
This is good.
But
my God,
free yourself.
Free yourself.
Don't look for nobody else to free you.
Yes.
Stop looking for somebody else, a fairy, to come and free you. The fairy ain't coming to free you, honey. No, my friend, it ain't coming. Nope. You free yourself.
Free yourself.
Loose yourself.
Woo, loose yourself.
My God, loose yourself.
Yeah.
You can. In fact, guess what? To free yourself, you hold the key.
Yes, you do.
You hold the key to being free of yourself, to do it yourself.
Wow.
Don't look for your friend or somebody, another friend of yours to come and free. They can't free you. Because they really don't know what you're dealing with. Yeah, you know what you're saying.
They know what you're saying.
But at the end of the day, you hearing my side.
Right.
But then you ain't hearing her side.
There's 3 sides.
And then you ain't hearing the third side, which ain't nobody going to talk about.
They ain't talking about. I ain't telling you all the details. There's 3 sides to every story.
That third side, ain't nobody going to, neither one of us going to talk about the third side. But you looking at my side, and you're going to jump on my side. I could be just as wrong as 2 left shoes. But you jumping on my side. Woo. But no, what you do, you got the key.
Yes.
My friend, you hold the key to the lock.
That's right.
When you come in your house, you got the key.
That's right.
Or you push the button on your garage or have you the one hold the key.
That's right.
To free yourself.
Free yourself.
Free you.
Free your mind.
Don't look for nobody else to do it.
Free your spirit.
You free
you.
You
can be productive.
I'm free.
Be productive.
Tell yourself. Tell yourself. Don't tell nobody else. Tell yourself.
That's it.
I'm free.
Yes.
I'm free. No more chains are bound in me. I'm not chained no longer. I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
Free. That's the thing that helped us in our marriage 40 years. Forgiveness.
Be free and forgive one another.
Forgiveness. And we don't wash each other's faces.
He hurt you, she hurt you.
We discuss
but forgive.
It. But some of you need to get with the person in your church and discuss it. Get the person in your job and discuss it. Calm down and discuss it.
Free you.
Free yourself.
You got the key.
Your family member that you ain't talked to in years. You dealt with them with a long handled spoon.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
You free you.
Free yourself. Don't clog up your spirit. Let the freedom get just all over you, and let God bless you.
Thank you all so much again. We're going to close again. This is our second.
Yes, the second closing. Give us 5 more minutes. How do you give us 5 minutes? You give us 5. You give us 5. You give us 5.
So this is our second closing. We're going to close out.
This is the kind of forgiveness.
Yeah. And with that kind of, it's going to loose you from this.
Wow.
It's going to loose you from that. Then you're going to be free. Now you're free. Hey.
That's it.
Hey. Oh.
That's it.
Free you.
Watch when a person's constantly, they always have arguments. Arguments is always surrounding that person.
Yeah.
Always watch that person. Watch that person. There's that mental illness that where you need to go with them to get some help.
God bless you all. Okay, we can keep on half of the night. You all know it's 7 minutes after, honey. Oh, the perfect number. That's God's
right.
number.
That's
right.
It's 7
after. Love you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. May you be blessed and may all of your dreams come true.
Amen.
This is Swanigan's
Inspiration.
It's
Monday.
It's Monday.
Share this with someone. Please share this. Check out our website, www.swaniganinspiration.com. God bless you and have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Hit that finish button.